Kohate says. Selene.
Hello, chat. Hello, Spud Arm, not fully maximized on the screen. That's better. How's it going, boys? We finally get to start the stream half an hour late. I see Kohet's already in here. You know what? Let's go ahead and open the voice chat too while we're here. Guess what we're doing today? We are still having no pressure sensitivity. Yay! That's what we're doing, but at least we're coloring, so it's not as big of a deal. Isn't that something? What are we saying in the stream here? Yay!
Kohate says. Flailing arms.
Wacky flailing arm tube guy? Is there an emote for that? There probably should be. But yeah, we got this shit from Patron, and we're gonna finish it after I make a few adjustments, because after looking at it for a while, I feel like the anvil is not thick enough, and also the angle of that sword, not quite right. So we gotta fix a few things. Then, oh hell, I gotta do this without pressure sensitivity. We gotta fix a few things, but then we'll be in business. What are y'all up to in the chat, by the way? What's going on, Kohet? Let's see. Gotta get my thingamajigs up here.
Kohate says, we talking about thickness and the sword's dangle angle. Kohate says, hoggers.
We talking about how the sword is at this angle, but the anvil is at this angle. So, we need to make the sword more parallel with the anvil. And hopefully, I don't have to do a whole lot of drawing by hand to get that correct.
Kohate says, I rewatched the Big D Randy series, that was fun. Drawing, normal things. Nothing crazy to report on the Western Front.
Big D Randy series. What the hell is Big D Randy? That's a new one to me. Ooh, this sucks. You know what? For all the things that we've gotten out of the way on the bingo card already, Patron came through pretty well this week. So there's one we're gonna have to take away from y'all. Now that tip really doesn't look right.
Kohate says, today my card is actually getting stonewalled by the lack of patron mistakes.
Is Geronimo loud enough, by the way? It seems a little low for me, but that doesn't always translate to how it is for you guys. Let's see.
Kohate says, he is very quiet.
Alright, that's what it seemed like to me. Seems like Geronimo is either like blaring or hard to hear at all. You know what? It might be because I turned the volume down on the browser that he's using. So I could have my my soundboard a little not so extremely loud.
They're eating the dogs, they're eating the cats. Eat the cat, eat the cat. They're eating the dogs, they're eating the cats. Eat the cat, Eat the cat. They're eating the cats. They're eating the dogs. Eat the cat. Eat the cat. Eat the cat.
That's one of the lower ones.
Autism. How about that? Autism tomorrow.
Alright. I think we can move it up a little bit more. Okay. I think we're in business. Now we gotta thicken this whole thing up. Let's try it kind of like that, but we're gonna have to adjust the tip. The horn, I guess they would call it. Who's they? I don't know, but they would. Blacksmiths, presumably. That looks a little better. Hell yeah. Okie dokie. Now we can actually do the thing that I intended to do. And put some colors on this bro. Let's get Ferris up here for reference. Ah, not the eraser. I don't need the PSD, we just need this one. Alright. Something I was surprised to realize this week is that the freaking Pokemon DLC for the new game is actually coming out like next week. Just next week. The game's less than 2 months old. And they're already putting out DLC for it. Freaking absurd. Ain't even DLC at this point, it's just cut post-game content. We used to have stuff like that just built into the regular game. But now no, you have to pay an extra $30 for it. Glad I didn't buy that one.
We should be allowed to stone developers that withhold content for DLC within the first year of a game's release.
First year, hell, I'd give them like 6 months, but man, like what's this? 2 months? 2 months? You didn't develop that, you already had it. That's part of the normal game you made. I don't know why people just accept it. I'm not even anti-DLC, but damn. Have some restraint. This is just kind of more examples of Pokemon just becoming a cash grab. Sad to see. Back in my day, all they did was release 2 almost identical games that had certain content walled off that you had to get the second one for. And even that was pretty crash grabby.
Kohate says, I'm radicalized, so I don't blame Nintendo. I want to stone the consumers actually.
How about both? Can we do both? Can we rid the world of both normies and the people who take advantage of them? I think it would be a great improvement on the world.
Kohate says, I have an unlimited number of stones, so...
They're reusable too. You can stone multiple people with the same pile of rocks. It's a very efficient method.
Kohate says, David was onto something with that there sling.
People do underestimate the slings, man. Hurling a rock at high speeds is... Well, I mean, that's basically just what a gun does. It's just higher speeds. Now that I think about it. All the like advanced technologies just seem to come back down to really old technologies but better ways of doing them, I guess. Guns are just
Kohate says,
slings with gunpowder.
God, I love ballistics.jpg.
Nuclear energy is just steam. Have we invented anything in the past couple hundred years? Or couple thousand years, really? I guess computers are something different.
Kohate says, Not really, radiological technology and photovoltaic cells are very new.
Okay, smarty pants, but we're just using them to boil water.
Kohate says, if you wanna be Reddit-brained you can boil everything into just being steam, but that's not really fair.
Hitting me with the Reddit accusations. Come on, man. Let's see. I don't know what the inside of this guy's mouth looks like. I never drew that. Let's just make something up. Let's see. The sword itself is going to be kind of heated up, so we'll make it kind of orangey. Let's just use the Infidian color for the... What do you call that? The anvil, that's what it's called. Alright. All the flats are down, finally. Ooh. Forgot the, whatchamacallit. The clipping mask. Okay. I am recording the time lapse for this, which is something I keep forgetting to do because that's easy for content for the YouTube that I haven't been posting on. Been really heavily invested in the actual creation of the game recently since I'm reaching like that critical mass. Last night I basically spent all my free time just working on getting a random tables filled out. I've been making universal loot tables so people can, when they get like a special thing, they can just roll on that to find out what
that's excellent
item properties it has. And I think we're pretty much done with all the different weapon categories and the shields. So we just gotta get like accessories and armor, which might take a while. I don't know if I have enough special armor properties. And I probably don't. which means I'll have to make more of them. That's basically what I did all last night, try to make up new properties to fill out the table with. You think I had plenty, but once I divide them up by like the different types, and a bunch of gaps start forming, because the tables are going to be divided by type. So the idea is that when you come across something, a special item, what you'll do is you'll find the most relevant creature, and you'll basically roll on the table that decides what essence you get from it, and that will be the type. And then you roll on the table under that type, and that will tell you what properties you got. Then you can do multiple rolls if it's got more than one property, and those can double up into bigger effects, because a lot of them have like higher tier versions. Actually, most of this should be in the light, because the flame is all over the place. I hate having no pressure sensitivity. I don't know why it always does this, especially at the most inopportune time. I've been having some trouble with the PC earlier in the week, but I thought I figured it all out. And then it just decides to crap out on me right before the stream. Thanks, PC Coon.
Kohate says, I have never met anyone with your degree of tech issues.
For a long time, things were going fine. I had like no issues. And I'd look at other VTubers and be like, ha, they have scuff. Imagine that. I guess God is trying to humble me. Couldn't be anything about me abusing the PC and running it too much, but that's definitely not it.
Kohate says. It's a shame too, because now any repair is going to cost you a mortgage.
You know what? If something serious happens to the PC, I usually just go to my uncle, and he probably can figure it out. That's generally been the best method for getting a non-functional PC working from most of my life. Ask Uncle Steve. And when it gets too bad, that usually means I should have upgraded a couple years ago anyways. I think the last PC I had was like 8 years old before I decided, okay, it's getting a bit slow and crappy. Maybe I should get a new one.
Kohate says. Uncle Steve is an IBM server still converting binary to C at runtime.
You know what, maybe I should make an announcement that my stream is actually working now. Let's get on the Twitters. Okay, where's the post? There we go. Let's give this guy kind of a shadow on his, like, in the middle here. That looks kind of nice. What else has been going on this week? Running out of things to talk about without Ponyboy here to interject. Let's check the bookmarks on Twitter. Oh yeah, that's something I want to try. Apparently you can basically turn any image into a texture in CSP. I have not seen this before, but I might give it a try on this one, since that's what we're doing. But that'll be for later. I'm seeing a lot of people hating on the new Metroid game. That's another thing.
Kohate says. I mean, I guess.
You talking about the texture? Or the Metroid game? Apparently Nintendo has a whole area that doesn't have music in it. In order to get music in it, you either have to like beat the game or buy an amiibo.
Kohate says. About the textures, yeah. Like, you can make anything a texture, could for ages. In Krita you can even turn GIFs into textures.
GIFs?
At a certain point. Why would you want to?
A GIF texture sounds like it would make a ridiculous file size. So I don't know why you'd want to do that unless you're just... You know what though? I'm thinking of ways. I'm thinking of things. the brain is going. You just want to have a still image, but like have some kind of weird shiftiness to it. That could be a use for a...
The Metroid game seems so whack. I think the success of Breath of the Wild was a terrible mistake.
Because it's open world? If you think about it, isn't like the original Metroid game basically open world? It's just 2D.
Kohate says. Technically all the Metroids have been open world.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Kohate says. But I just mean the level design and atmospherics.
Yeah. Not every game can pull off big open spaces. It actually has to have like a point of it within the game of itself.
Kohate says. But then also, not every game should want to either.
Yeah?
Kohate says. I want more claustrophobia and terror.
Now that one, Elder Scrolls spiritual successor that I've been following, The Wayward Realms, they put out an update recently saying that they were getting rid of, what was it, Unreal 5 is their engine, I think? They were making a fork of another engine as their main thing now. And the new engine is so efficient that it can just load like the entire map in just a few seconds. So even though they had to like go through all the trouble of adapting this whole new engine to their game, they had to they're coming out ahead because it's just so much faster to work with.
Probably a Godot fork.
Not Godot or Godot. Let's not give the French any leeway in our language. It's Godot. I forget what it was called, but it was some other one.
Unreal is to game engines as Windows is to operating systems.
Yeah, I guess so. Good old enshittification. You'd think companies would be on that shit by now. How long have we been getting the enshittification? Not even just like from things that are monetization, it's just like everything's just worse. All the software has gone downhill. Why don't you guys stop for a second and actually work on making things better instead of just adding some new toy with some new technology that we never needed before. And bloating things that already worked fine.
Kohate says, we've made game dev accessible for everyone equals we've made gaming as a concept worse, smiley face.
Yeah, normification of things definitely hurts the functionality. Just wait till AI itself becomes enshittified. Because we're not even there yet. They're still making actual advances. It's just everybody trying to put it in everything sucks, but the AIs themselves are actually getting somewhat better. And even that's kind of slowing down. Whoops. Just wait till AI becomes accessible. Which I guess they are still trying to do. Or doing right now. Just that you have to pay for subscriptions or credits or all that garbage. They're trying to lock people into the subscription model real early on this
like
tech.
How, even before AI started to kill people's desire to learn things, the ease of access created by even early game engines resulted in the grotesque ballooning and bloat of files and scripts.
Yep.
Kohate says, there's going to be such a massive brain drain and then there won't be anyone left to unshitify it.
People will have to learn to do it again.
Kohate says, Western game dev has been here. JPEG.
How can you tell? Ugly women